Hi everybody, I hope everyone is doing well. So today is the video for Tuesday, October 6th, and today we're going to do peer review for the RA or paper number 2, or the rhetorical analysis. So I'm going to get into our course schedule here. So I do have a couple things I would like to say about the course schedule. First, I would like to point out that 6-week grades are due on Wednesday by 3 p.m. And I did submit all 6-week grades, so those should be available to you on Banner by Wednesday at 3 p.m. And if you have any questions about grades or paper feedback or anything like that, please feel free to stop in during my office hours this week on Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. Or if you have questions, you can always email me as well. But I did finish grading the papers for the discourse community analysis. I did finish those up. So moving on from that, what we're going to be doing today is finish drafting the RA, and we're going to be doing the online peer review workshop. So what you should be working on once you complete peer review is final draft revisions, and the final draft of the RA is due on Thursday by midnight. So going from there, I would like to return to our Blackboard page, and under discussion boards, I have made a new forum for the RA peer review. And then from there, you can create a new thread. And then once you do that, you can find someone else's paper and post feedback on their paper as well. We'll be doing the similar process like we did for the first paper. But please note that peer review is due by midnight on Wednesday, October 7th for the RA. And the reason I would like to do that is because I would like everyone to complete peer review by tomorrow by midnight. And then that way your final draft should hopefully be ready by Thursday at midnight. And Thursday by midnight is when the final draft of the second paper is due, and that will be through a Dropbox. And I will talk about turning in the paper on Thursday and make a separate video for that. And I made a lesson as well, and you can find that under the Lessons tab. And if you scroll down, I have this RA peer review workshop, and that's what I'm going to be going over in this video today. So it's going to be much of the similar process that we've done for the first paper. So here is the RA peer review workshop Google Slides lesson. So anyway, peer review steps. Just like for the DCA, your RA draft must be shared through Google Docs. So what you're going to do is, much like the first paper, you're going to share your Google document link and post it on the discussion board, and you want to make sure permissions are enabled, otherwise whoever is viewing the document won't be able to access it. And once you click that blue share button that's in the upper right hand corner of Google Docs, what you're going to do from there is make sure that anyone with the link can comment, and then you're going to make sure the permissions are set to commenter. And then you can copy the link and post your link onto the discussion board. Now, once you locate a fellow student's paper that you want to peer review, you can make comments like seen in this screenshot. So then from there, you're going to post the link to the discussion board like I was saying, and proceed to make comments on someone else's paper and perform peer review. So what should be commented on for this RA? So is the thesis statement present? Does it present an argument in terms of Rob Walker's article? What might need improvement? And this is guidelines for providing peer review on your partner's paper once you pair up with someone. And then you want to look at the topic sentences of the body paragraphs. Are the supporting reasons clear? And what about the evidence? Do the body paragraphs contain logos, ethos, and pathos appeal? How is the organization and style of the essay, and what might need improvement? How are the grammar and mechanics? What might need some work? And lastly, how is the conclusion? Does it summarize the student's thesis statement, revisit their evidence, and leave a final impression? So if you need further guidelines or sort of just an idea of what to comment on your partner's paper, you can look at the paper guidelines, and they provide some great insight into the paper, especially while performing peer review. Because things that you should be looking for is the thesis statement, the claim, the subpoints and reasons, and the evidence, and the ethos, logos, and pathos, like I was saying in the PowerPoint or in the Google Slides. And then from there, you want to take a look at the organization. You want to take a look at the introduction, the thesis statement, and the conclusions as well. Now, in terms of style, the rhetorical analysis is not a narrative like the DCA, so you should adopt a more formal style than in the first paper because you're practicing a type of professional writing. And you want to make sure you proofread carefully, especially in terms of sentence structure, grammar, spelling, punctuation, and mechanics. And keep in mind that our textbooks, like the Little Seagull Handbook, does have a chapter on sentence structure, and I noticed in a few students' papers for the DCA that a few people struggled with mostly sentence fragments or comma splices. And the Little Seagull Handbook does provide a chapter. I think the chapter is only like 5 pages long, but the chapter itself does describe what a sentence fragment is, how to revise them, and also how to avoid them in future papers. So anyway, the paper should be about 900 to 1200 words long. So those are things that you should be looking for when you're looking at your partner's paper. And also proofreading your own. So anyway, here's the paper 2 links. So if you need a reminder of or a review of the guidelines, or the invention and class discussion that I did last week, or look at the sample paper, you're welcome to do that. Now, if you would like further feedback, aside from peer review, aside from feedback that is provided within peer review, if you want to make an appointment with the Learning Center for Tutoring, they will happily look at your paper, and they do free online tutoring for all JCC students. So you can click the link down below if you need online tutoring or further help with your paper. Or of course you can email me as well. Now just to revisit these links, I do want to take a look at the invention and guidelines because that was the lesson I went over last week. And this is the lesson 8 tech backlash article and discussion and invention. And this was basically the invention I went over last week, like I said. Now, other lessons that might be helpful to you. If you need a review from last week, you can also take a look at the online writing workshop. And this also goes over the invention for the body paragraphs. So if you need a review of that, you're welcome to access that as well. Keep in mind that the Google Slide presentations are a way to sort of review content each week. So if you need a review of what's from the textbook or from videos or from lessons, you're more than welcome to do so. Also, the sample paper is very helpful to look at too, and if you're still struggling, taking a look at the sample paper can be very helpful as well. And I did break down this sample paper last week within one of our videos. I talked about how the student used their thesis statement, how to use direct quotations, and also how to use ethos, logos, and pathos within the paper. So if you need a reminder of that, I would recommend watching the previous 2 videos before this one. Again, I'm keeping this video relatively short because that is really all for today. That is pretty much what we're doing. It's pretty much all on you guys to do peer review. So if you need any help with that, please feel free to email me. Well, like I said, the draft of the RA and peer review workshop is today, so what you should be working on is final draft revisions once you're done with peer review, and the final draft is due on Thursday by midnight. And then on Thursday, we're going to have a digital workshop on digital portfolios and Google websites. And please keep in mind that the final draft of the RA is due on Thursday by midnight as well. So if you have any questions, please feel free to email me or stop by during my office hours on Friday. I have office hours every Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. on Zoom. And you can find the link on Blackboard for my office hours. Anyway, that is it, and I hope you all have a great day, and thank you so much.